A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. I am doing a book review on a book I finished early this year for Historathon 2025. I started this during Historathon 2024 for quarter one, and I didn't get to finish it because I started it too late. So I went ahead and finished it this year. And this is the main focus of this book. Unlike the book that I'm going to be reading this month, or I am reading this month, which is a forensic doctor's view of the crucifixion. This is how the ancients viewed crucifixion in general. So how they looked at who they would choose to crucify. And this includes not just Romans. It talks about Greeks here. I think it mostly focuses on Greeks and Romans. But so they talk about the view of crucifixion. They quote various different writers of the era. They talk about who would be eligible for crucifixion in the different cultures and what that would look like, and what the perception was culturally. So why Paul says that it was considered a stumbling block to the ancients that Jesus was crucified. So this book really helps you get into the mindset of the man of the day. And I mean, it is a very good read. I don't think it was quite what I anticipated when I got to. I think I thought it would be a little bit more detailed on the actual crucifixion process, but it is a lot more detailed on, while this does touch on the crucifixion process, it's a lot more detailed on the social view around it. So let's see if I can give you some chapter names, just give you an idea. So the folly of the crucified Son of God is the first chapter. Then you have Prometheus and Dionysus, the crucified and the crucifying God. And they do talk about how in the different cultures, it was considered anathema, like for someone considered God to die. So that alone was a stumbling block. Then they talk about Docetism as a way of removing the folly of the cross. If I remember correctly, that was the idea that was sort of like a mirage, like just to make people think that it happened, but it wasn't real. Then it talks about crucifixion as a barbaric form of execution of the utmost cruelty. And that chapter is probably the one that goes in the most detail. But even that one is more focused on how people like Plato, I want to say they hear Seneca, I want to say Cicero speaks on this here. So while it talks about it, it's not nearly as detailed as the forensic book that I'm reading this year. Crucifixion is supreme Roman penalty. Crucifixion in Roman citizens, which usually Roman citizens were not crucified. Usually they would be beheaded instead. Crucifixion was considered to be how slaves would be executed. And going forward, crucifixion is penalty for rebellious foreigners, violent criminals, and robbers. The slave's punishment the crucified national martyr, and metaphorical and philosophical terminology. I believe that one goes into an Egyptian, Egyptian literature, ancient Egyptian literature, for lack of a better term, that has a hero being crucified. And it goes into what all that was about. Crucifixion among the Jews, and then it has a summary. It's not a long book, and while I wouldn't say that this is a hard-to-read book, it can be a bit dry at points. But I think there's a lot of good information in here. This book was written in 1977. It was originally written in German, as I recall. Translated by John Bowden from German. And the actual author is Martin Hengel. So this is quite an old book in comparison to, the other book that I'm reading. I know 1977 isn't old, but it's older than I am, darn it. But yes, this is a good book to read, and not, in my opinion, terribly graphic for someone who wants a societal view of crucifixion in I'm not sure if it gives me a period of time. I'm just going to say in antiquity, and have that include, early, AD. And I'm not sure how late that goes, because I don't see a timeline here, and it's not terribly clear. Just kind of think antiquity. So yeah, I thought this was an interesting book. I would recommend this to somebody who wants to know a little bit more, wants to get a view outside of the biblical text, get other sources looking in and giving their points of view of how they saw crucifixion. So I think I've meandered as much as I really can on this. This is a rather short book. But yeah. This is put out by Fortress Press, and I don't think I can say much more than I recommend this. But thank you very much for joining me. Hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time. God bless. Bye.
Books keep coming home with me. Piles so tall, they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.